Sportsmel Serena Williams and Coco Gauff, the surprising honor that brought tears and cheers off the court. The world has seen them share courts, headlines, and hearts, but no one was ready for this moment. On a night that blended elegance with emotion, Serena Williams and Coco Gauff, two generations of tennis greatness, received a surprising global honor that transcended the boundaries of sport and stirred the souls of millions. At the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C., under a chandelier of golden light, the two icons stood side by side as they were awarded the Legacy of Light humanitarian honor, celebrating not their victories on court, but their unmatched influence off it. And when their names were called together, the room erupted, not with polite applause of ceremony, but with cheers, tears, and standing ovations that refused to fade. Globe showing Europe, Africa, a night to remember. The night had already been electric. The audience was a who's who of global excellence. Athletes, artists, and activists who had come to celebrate courage and compassion. But there was a palpable hum in the air when the announcer's voice said, "This year's Legacy of Light Award goes to two women whose rackets started a revolution and whose hearts continue to heal the world, Serena Williams and Coco Gauff." Spotlight swung toward the back of the hall. Serena rose first, regal, poised, and powerful in a shimmering gold gown. Coco followed, modern, radiant, dressed in ivory with a minimalist glow that reflected both youth and grace. The crowd was on its feet before they even reached the stage. Cameras flashed. Tears flowed. It wasn't just a recognition. It was a reunion of past, present, and future greatness. Tennis, the journey that led here. The story of Serena Williams and Coco Gauff is more than a sports narrative. It's a living testimony to legacy and lineage. Serena, the titan of tennis, had redefined the game with her power, her voice, and her resilience. Over 20 years, she didn't just collect trophies. She rewrote the DNA of women's sports, proving that strength and femininity could coexist in full force. Coco, her spiritual successor, grew up watching Serena on television, memorizing her serves, her footwork, her confidence. By 15, she was beating legends. By 19, she was inspiring millions. Now, at 21, Coco stood beside her idol, not as a fan, but as an equal. To be here with Serena, my role model, my North Star, it's beyond words, Coco said in a trembling voice. She showed me how to believe in myself before the world even knew my name. Serena smiled softly, touching her hand. And you, Coco, remind me why I never gave up. Because the fight was never just for me, it was for you. Glowing star of the honor, beyond wins and titles. The Legacy of Light Award is reserved for individuals whose influence has sparked global change. Serena and Coco were honored for their work in youth empowerment, gender equality, and social justice, each using their platform to create lasting impact beyond the baseline. Serena's foundation has built schools in Africa and provided scholarships for underprivileged students. Her venture firm, Serena Ventures, funds women-led and minority-owned startups, focusing on creating equal opportunities in tech and business. Coco, meanwhile, launched the Serve for Change initiative, a global program promoting education and mental health awareness for young athletes. She's become a voice for her generation, speaking at the UN, leading campaigns for climate action, and mentoring young girls through sport. "We didn't set out to change the world," Serena said in her acceptance speech. "We just wanted to be heard. And when you're heard, you realize your voice can open doors for others." Sparkling heart the moment that brought tears. It was during Coco's speech that the tears began to flow. She stepped forward, holding her award like a sacred torch, her voice trembling but clear. "When I was 10, I wrote a letter to Serena," she said, smiling through emotion. "I never sent it, but I said I wanted to be just like her, not because of her grand slams, but because of her courage. Tonight, standing next to her, I realized something. I don't have to be Serena. I just have to be me because of Serena." The crowd gasped softly, a mix of admiration and emotion. Serena wiped her eyes, visibly moved. "You're already greater than I ever dreamed to be," Serena whispered as Coco turned to her. The entire hall erupted in applause, an ovation that lasted nearly 3 minutes. Even the most stoic faces couldn't hold back. Former First Lady Michelle Obama, seated in the front row, was seen clapping through tears. Oprah leaned forward, mouthing, "Beautiful." Movie camera, a tribute that lit the room. As the applause faded, the lights dimmed, and a giant screen descended from above. The audience was treated to a short film titled Two Paths, One Purpose. It began with grainy footage of young Serena practicing in Compton, sunlight flickering across her sweat-soaked face. The sound of her father, Richard Williams, echoed, "Remember, you belong anywhere you believe you belong." The film then transitioned to a young Coco, watching Serena's matches on a small TV in Florida, whispering, "Someday." Then the split-screen sequence, Serena's 1999 U.S. Open victory beside Coco's 2023 win, Serena's tears of triumph at Wimbledon alongside Coco's joyful disbelief in New York. Two stories, two eras, one fire. As the film ended, the final line appeared in bold white letters across the screen. "When one serves, the other rises." The audience was on its feet once again, clapping and cheering as both women stood in awe. Rose off the court, a bond beyond words. What makes their connection so profound is how genuine it feels. There's no pretense, no rivalry, just mutual admiration and shared purpose. Backstage after the ceremony, a journalist overheard Coco say softly to Serena, "Dove epilogue," beyond the ceremony. In the days that followed, the ripple effects of that night continued. Serena's speech became a viral sound on TikTok, used by young women sharing their stories of resilience. Coco's quote, "Change happens when we serve," was printed on posters in schools and training academies. A week later, Serena and Coco were invited to co-author an op-ed for the New York Times titled "Beyond the Baseline: How Sports Can Shape a Kinder World." In it, they wrote together, "Our differences in age, experience, or success mean nothing if we don't use them to lift someone else higher. Tennis gave us a stage. Humanity gave us purpose. And purpose, that's where the real trophies live." Sunrise legacy in motion. That night in Washington wasn't about Serena's past or Coco's future. It was about a shared present, glowing with gratitude, grace, and growth. Serena, the woman who had shattered ceilings and stereotypes. Coco, the young phenom now shaping the next chapter of tennis and beyond. Together, they reminded the world that greatness isn't measured in speed or strength, but in the ability to inspire love, courage, and possibility. As they exited the stage, the crowd chanting their names, Serena turned to Coco and whispered, "One day, you'll be here with someone new. And that's how the light keeps moving." Coco smiled, and "I'll tell her you started it." The two clasped hands, one gold, one ivory, like two flames merging into one. And in that glow, the message of the night became clear. Sports Medal True Victory isn't about who wins next. It's about who shines together. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.